You're minding your own business on a quiet holiday morning, parked legally in front of your own home, when your nightmare neighbors, the kind who think the public street is their private kingdom, knock on your door, threaten tickets, and even call the cops. But instead of backing down, you inch your car closer, flash a cheeky peace sign straight at their cameras, and calmly explain the truth to the officer. Suddenly, the entitled old couple's harassment backfires spectacularly. This neighborhood standoff is packed with that slow burn satisfaction of refusing to be bullied. Let's dive in. If you've ever dealt with neighbors who act like they own the block and dreamed of standing your ground without breaking a sweat, hit that like button to stand with the underdogs. Subscribe for more real-life revenge stories that deliver justice one clever move at a time. And let's get to this escalating drama. Set the scene in a peaceful suburban neighborhood in sunny Orlando, Florida. Palm-lined streets, wide curbside parking, the kind of place where families wave and kids ride bikes. Our protagonist, Riley, 30, non-binary, remote tech support specialist who works from home, moved in 5 years ago with their partner Alex. Things started cordial with the elderly couple next door. Let's call them the Harrisons, Mr. Harrison, mid-70s, and his wife, around the same age. The classic been here forever types who wave politely at first. But last summer, cracks appeared. During a friend's bachelor trip, a car parked in front of the Harrisons' house for about 24 hours. Plenty of space existed. Their massive truck and Jeep fit easily, plus the empty house on their other side offered extra spots. Still, Mr. Harrison lost it, making an obscene jerking-off gesture at Alex, not the first time. Riley's blood boiled, but they chose peace. These people aren't worth the energy. We'll just avoid parking there, if we can. Internal resolve hardened. No more faking niceness. Fast forward to MLK Day, a federal holiday. Everyone off, lazy morning vibes. Around 8 a.m., a knock. Riley, sleeping in, ignored it. Later, as Alex headed out for therapy, Mr. Harrison cornered him in the driveway. "We called the cops on you guys. You've been parking too close to our car. He was going to ticket you, but I said I'd talk first." Alex, conflict averse, shrugged it off and left. Hours later, recounting to Riley, skepticism hit hard. Riley checked. Their car was legally parked in front of their own house, about 2 feet from the Harrisons' Jeep. Safe distance. No ticket, no note. This is bullshit, Riley thought, frustration mixing with a spark of defiance. They're lying to scare us. Time to test that. Riley stepped outside, heart thumping with quiet adrenaline. They got in their car, backed up slightly, then pulled forward again, now just 1 foot separating bumpers. Closing the door with flair, Riley leaned a hip out, threw up a clear peace sign toward the house, and strolled back inside. They knew the Harrisons' cameras covered everything. Lawn, street, the works. Let them watch that. Next, Riley dialed the non-emergency line. "I'd like to speak with the officer who responded to my address earlier." The cop answered with chuckle and sigh. "Yeah, I told your neighbor I wasn't ticketing anyone." He was grumpy about it. Bonus. The officer offered vacation house checks since Riley and Alex's honeymoon was coming up. Riley grinned. Perfect. These clowns just dug their own hole. Hours ticked by. Then, a patrol car pulled up in front of the Harrisons. Mr. Harrison had called again, showing evidence, the video, but spinning the peace sign as a middle finger. The same officer knocked on Riley's door. Riley invited him in, calm and collected. They laid it out. The history of threats, obscene gestures, fear-mongering lies about tickets, general disrespect. Mentioned the neighbors on the right, a brown family who'd faced racist comments and threats from the Harrisons, even requiring police intervention before. "I'm not doing anything illegal or wrong," Riley said evenly. "Public street, legal parking. I'm done pandering to their tantrums." The officer nodded, tone supportive. "Keep doing what you're doing, legally. Avoid anything that crosses lines." He left with a knowing look. Riley felt empowered, a rush of validation. No more shrinking. The Harrisons were known to the police. Frequent callers over nonsense, documented harassers. From then on, Riley parked strategically, 1 foot from the Jeep's rear when possible, even slightly over their own apron, no driveway issues. Each time, a subtle thrill, watching Mr. Harrison's blood pressure rise through the windows. Not great for a 75-year-old's health, Riley mused with dark humor. If calls kept coming for legal parking, plan B, ignore knocks, document everything, pursue harassment charges or restraining order. The right side neighbors were allies now, united front against the chaos. The turning point crystallized that afternoon. As the second cop visit wrapped, Riley caught Mr. Harrison peeking from his curtains, face twisted in fury. No ticket materialized. Again, the officers laughed at the initial call. His eye roll at the peace sign misinterpretation sealed it. The Harrisons' power play had crumbled. They weren't intimidating anyone anymore. They were just the neighborhood pests everyone, including law enforcement, knew too well. Riley stood on their porch later, sipping coffee, watching the empty street. No gestures needed now. The simple act of parking normally was the ultimate statement. Relief flooded in, mixed with triumphant glee. The first neighbor to say no had shifted the dynamic. The Harrisons' reign over the block? Cracked, maybe broken. Not every neighbor feud needs fireworks. Sometimes refusing to play along is the strongest move. When entitlement meets quiet resolve, the bully often exposes themselves. It reminds us, public spaces are for everyone, and standing up, even pettily, can reclaim peace. Here's to the first ones who push back. They paved the way for calmer streets. If this neighborhood power play had you cheering or nodding furiously, smash that like button to support boundary setters everywhere. Share in the comments. What's the most entitled neighbor move you've witnessed or shut down? Subscribe and hit the bell for more satisfying standoff stories. We've got endless drama coming.